Okay, we're going to talk next about the menu toolbar, which is where you'll do a lot of, which is one way of getting to a lot of the things you need to do to manage these VMs. There are more than one way. There's more than one way to do a lot of this stuff. Um, but the menu bar contains both the file, the text-based menu, and some very important buttons. Um, the menu options and the buttons, and we're going to talk about those things. Now, the thing to note here is that if something is grayed out for the VM that you're dealing with, that option is not possible. If you think something should be available but isn't, double check the state of your VM because you might have mistakenly thought, you might have confused a running VM with a not running VM, or one which is suspended with one which has been shut down. Just look very closely. So we've got our, let's go back to our console view. So this is our menu bar here. And you've got your text-based menus here: File, Edit, View, Machine, Help, and then you've got your options. Now these have changed in Workstation 15. Let me show you 15 right quick. So here we got File, Edit, View, actually still VM, Tabs, Help. As you can see, I've got my these here, and then I've got my power option, my interrupt option. These three buttons here will manage your snapshots, and these buttons here will change it from console view. So let's and so here we go. So we oh, nope, wrong one. My apologies. Menu bar. There we go. So the menu toolbar, the button, as we said, the buttons to the right of the menu are shortcuts. Power, interrupt. Your clock buttons manage your snapshots. Your screen buttons, your Unity button, your console button. If you don't have VMware tools installed, the Unity option may not be available. So every option won't apply to every VM, and every option doesn't have to apply to every VM. Your file menu options, you can create a new virtual machine. You can spawn off a new window, open and close tabs, connect to a server, connect to vCloud. You can virtualize the physical machine you're running. You can export things to OVF, or you can even map virtual disks. Essentially, find virtual disks, essentially take partitions on the local machine and treat them as virtual disks that you can mount into your VMs. And then, of course, you can exit. Edit will give you a lot of your preferences. Hotkeys, display, updates. Now, the updates things may have moved. Memory, shared VMs, a lot of stuff there. The menu toolbar will actually give you preferences. If you can look at your workspace, your inputs, your hotkeys. Say, for example, if you would rather do something other than Control Alt to take the mouse back from the guest OS and give it to the host, you can do that. You can change your devices, change your updates, etc. Pay close attention when you're doing some of these things. Particularly pay attention to things that require administrative access. There are some things you can do in here, but only, say, for example, if you're editing your preferences and you're editing virtuals and network settings, those things you may only be able to do with administrative access. Then you've got your view menu: full screen, Unity, console, fit, auto size, or customize. Actually, let's look at that one right quick. So here we go. So, and let's look at what it looks like now. So we've got file. So you can make a new machine, or actually, where'd that go? Okay, so good. You can look at your files, make a new window, make a new machine, open one, scan for virtual machines. This will be your option to add things to the library. Close a tab, connect to a server, a vCloud, or either whether a vCloud server or a local ESXi host. Map virtual disks. In edit options, you've got your preferences and your virtual network editor. Preferences is where you'll do most everything. Your your input settings, your hotkeys, your updates. You can check whether they happen now. You can also get to your updates here. Actually, oh, I strike that. Software updates. You can also get to these through. Okay, get to these through software updates to check for updates or close. So, as I said, there's more than one way to get to some things. The tabs menu will show you the tabs you have open. If for whatever reason you wanted to navigate your tabs using your keys, because you can get to most of these options with Control. Interesting. Okay, full screen or auto size, customize. You can turn off the status bar. Actually, let me put that back. So view, customize, status bar. Okay, the status bar is just taking up empty space. So let me turn that off. Turn the status bar off. This is your thumbnail view. You can resize it a little bit or a lot bit. It's getting a little ridiculous there, but you can do that. I leave it as small as possible. It will resize these a little bit as your, say for example, the resolution of the guest OS changes. These will get usually a little bit wider. Then I can also do it that way. Turn it on, turn it off. This will take me into full screen mode. Console view doesn't work right now because everything is powered down. So the console view buttons, Unity mode, all this stuff will not work if nothing is running. The VM menu has options for managing your VMs. Everything from power to removable devices. There's a way to send, control, delete. You can grab input, capture a screen, make snapshots, install or reinstall VMware tools. You can go to settings. So settings will be preferences. The edit preferences is global for VMware Workstation. Settings will be your settings specific to a given VM. And I am going to there's everything I just talked about. So you've got options in your menu toolbar. You can start things up, you can power them on, you can power them off. You can do these things from the menu bar. But you should only do these things from the menu bar if you've already failed to do them from inside the guest OS. Really and truly, you should manage the guest operating systems internally. Let them shut themselves down. Let them reboot themselves. And use this only as a method of last resort. Your settings options are extremely useful. Everything from memory to hard drives to your CD. Say, for example, you build a VM and you forget to point that CD drive for your new guest OS at an ISO. You can go in here and change the CD drive. You must power it off if you can change things like your memory, your hard drive, your CPU. Some of this other stuff you can change on the fly, up to and including your Ethernet adapter, and whether it's host only or NAT or bridged or in a LAN segment or whatnot. And it kind of looks like this. And you've got, say for example, memory. You've got this slider here. You can drag it up or down to set your memory. You can also punch in a number. And you can do, say, set your SATA, CD SATA to an ISO image. You can change your NAT adapter. You can set up printing. You may actually have to do some things first to enable printing. Basically enable VMware printing and then go in and turn that on. You can change your display. There's really not much to do there, but if you want to, you can. There's also an options tab, which looks a little bit different now. But you can deal with things about snapshots, auto protect, shared folders, guest isolation, VMware tools, the appliance view, auto login, etc. Then finally, there's the help menu, which will give you it'll get you to the user manual, actually, which is out online. But the good news is that VMware has very good documentation. Even if all it's doing is linking you to the website, it's great documentation. You can check for updates here. You can look at your status. Actually, let's look at that again. I wanted to talk about one specific option that I really, really like. So let's look at my FedSec 3x. If I go to VM, notice I have not installed VMware tools on this one, or that one. Let's see one that I have installed it on. Win 10, VM. Okay, Kelly. I know. Okay, interesting. I thought I've done these. Anyway, if you want to clone, you can go here and manage. Now, if you want to delete one of these VMs, you actually have to go into manage. Go to manage, delete. If you do it here from the library view, all you do is remove it. You actually have to choose it this way. But let me talk about settings. One of the settings I really like is over in options. It's the snapshot view. My preference is for the ask me option. So you know that it will ask you every time you power the machine down. That doesn't force you to take a snapshot every time, but it gives you the opportunity every time you power the VM down, if you've made major changes, to take a snapshot. And then with those snapshots, you can manage your snapshots. Let me do one that has been around a while. VM snapshots. Let me go to Snapshot Manager. This is my Debian 9 infrastructure server that I built for my my Linux class. As you can see, I made a number of changes. I could probably discard all but the first and the last and not hurt myself. One thing you can also do is you can clone a specific snapshot so if there's a specific point in time at which the system was the way you wanted it to be, you could turn that snapshot into a new VM. It's very useful. So next I'm going to talk about working with virtual machines, stopping them and starting them. Thanks for watching, and I'll be right back. This is going to be probably the longest video in this series. I thought about doing it in 2, but really I just kept rolling. Thank you for bearing with me.